Swinford Media Group live-streamed the City of Marion's Town Hall meeting at the Cultural and Civic Center on Monday, June 14th. Now 2 years into the current administration, Mayor Mike Absher and the city's 4 commissioners reported on projects of the recent past, the present, and an exciting future. In a series of 3 reports, we will bring you some of the details shared at the meeting. While many media reports from the meeting will focus primarily on flashy developments coming to the downtown and the western edge of the city, we also don't want to overlook some of the accomplishments strengthening the city's infrastructure, public safety departments, and finances to prepare for that very bright future. That's what we'll start with this first report. Mayor Mike Absher said the town hall meetings were intended to be an annual event in his administration. Last year's pandemic shutdown prohibited such a gathering, so that left much to talk about Monday as the city council reaches the midway point of its current term.
But it's really a tragedy in some ways because you do not get the scale of the manpower and the time that it took to get each one of these things off the ground and to where we're at today with some of these projects. And you certainly don't get, because I'm either up here talking about them or one of the commissioners is talking about it, you do not get an appropriate feel for all of the people in the city that work for you, for the city of Marion, supported by your tax dollars, that put their time, their effort, their passion, not for a paycheck, but in order to move our city forward.
The mayor paid tribute to Glenn Clarida, the city's economic development and municipal planning director. Clarida, whose engineering firm contracted to oversee infrastructure projects with the city starting in 1965, was offered his new role with the city because, the mayor said, he's a bulldog who goes after new development with determination. Among the jobs coming to the city are at least 100 at the Texas Roadhouse, soon to be constructed and opened, and 200 projected at the ReaderLink book distribution facility opening at the former Circuit City warehouse. Mayor Absher said Clarida is close to announcing several other new businesses and new jobs. Absher reminded those in attendance of his 2020 vision plan rolled out during his first year in office. The elimination of a property tax levy by the city will be reflected in a 7.5% savings off real estate tax bills for Marion residents this year, a total of $4 million in savings for the town's citizenry. Marion is now one of about 14 cities that do not levy property taxes among the 1,300 plus Illinois municipalities. A small increase in the city's home rule sales tax has covered the property tax elimination and provided new funds to place school safety officers in all Marion schools and to better fund the Codes Enforcement Division of the city government, now renamed Building and Code Services. Mayor Absher credited Tim Stotler, that department's director, and Street Superintendent Doug Phillips for a concentrated cleanup of the city that is now underway. Jim Webb is Streets and Cemeteries Commissioner and a holdover from the previous administration. He and other commissioners acknowledged the work of the previous councils in starting many projects in their departments. Webb outlined a number of road projects now underway, planned, or completed over the past 2 years, including the roundabout at Carbon and Hill, sidewalks from State to Fair Streets, a turn lane alignment at the dangerous intersection of Williamson County Parkway and Outer Drive, traffic signals on 5th Street, which will allow for some planned new development and a safer entry for vehicles onto West Main Street, and a $1.5 million expansion of Westminster Drive to allow for increased traffic west from Carbon Street, near Marion High School, across Interstate 57 and meeting the southern extension of Halfway Road, which is complete and open. Webb said his department is now evaluating all city sidewalks for a planned improvement program and thanked his workers for their efforts in cleaning up some blighted areas, painting, picking up trash, and cutting weeds. Webb also applauded the GPS system that can help those visiting the city cemeteries find burial plots. That system is available by visiting the cemetery website.
With that, that's all the slides I have. I just shout out to the street department and the cemetery department, and I'm just so honored to be involved with those crews, and I feel lucky to be able to be associated with them and just proud of all the work they do.
Next up was John Stecklin, the Public Works Commissioner.
Lived here for 25 years or so, didn't really know other than when I turn on my faucet, I expect water to come out, and when I use the restroom, I expect it to go away. So that's about what I knew about water and sewer. There's a lot more to it.
Stecklin said a new water tower is coming to the east side of Marion, which will bring increased water pressure and allow for new development on that side of town. That will bring the number of Marion water tower tanks to 4, including the one now being painted on Boulevard Street. A $4.7 million sanitary sewer rehabilitation project is underway. The project is rehabbing some of the city's oldest lines and giving them 50 years of additional life. His illustration showed the inside of 2 sewer lines, with a photo on the right showing the pipe after it has been refurbished. A $654,000 sewer extension down South Market Road to Sycamore will also allow expansion and growth to and along Cochran and Golf Course roads. That and all other city sewer lines are being mapped and documented so they can easily be located. And all water meters in town are now digital, Stecklin said, letting the city read them remotely and allowing them to contact water customers if a leak or excessive usage is indicated. Stecklin bragged on the city's water and sewer rates for customers, among the lowest in the area. With all plants in the department in good shape and not needing major construction, the rates have been structured to fund operations and maintenance projects for 20 years and to maintain a surplus and emergency fund. John Barbwick, the Public Health and Safety Commissioner, is a Marion native and a retired Illinois State Police Master Sergeant. Barbwick spoke of the current climate in our country, which includes some movements that demonize police officers and undercuts police departments.
Rest assured, we are not going to defund the Marion Police Department. They are truly professionals.
Under Chief David Fitz, who was hired by the current administration, the department has hired 10 new officers in the past 2 years and a new canine officer, Karma. The department has also added 6 vehicles and has a new logo. As a police veteran, Barbwick said he's very impressed by the department, the narcotics unit in particular.
And I'm really impressed with these numbers. 442 cases initiated, 252 arrests, 4 pounds of cocaine have been taken off the streets of Marion, 128 pounds of methamphetamines, 2 pounds of heroin, 135 pounds of cannabis, 2 grow operations, 86 cannabis plants, 50 grams of fentanyl. They've seized $113,769 in the drug dealer's money. Also 74 firearms and 6 vehicles. I think those numbers are just tremendous. I worked with the drug task force when I was with the state police, and I kind of have an insight of what goes on, and these guys have kept busy to produce these kind of numbers.
Barbwick is also commissioner over animal control. He reminded the audience to consider adopting from shelters and ran down the number of animal control calls the department handles.
Their job isn't just about cats and dogs. They've had to capture rabbits, turkeys, tortoises, and even a horse. Animal control does an outstanding job, and I'd like to thank each of them for the service that they do to the city.
The Marion Fire Department, under Chief Tim Barnett, has been enjoying the expanded fire station. A $1 million addition and renovation planned during longtime Mayor Bob Butler's final term and completed during Mayor Anthony Ranella's tenure added 1,400 square feet to the firehouse for a total of 3,400, doubling the living quarters for firefighters. In addition, a new community digital signboard was donated to the department by Reynolds Roofing. Over the past 2 years, firefighters have responded to 1,742 calls and saved an estimated $9.5 million in property, about 85% of the property jeopardized by fires and other emergencies. The department has sold $78,000 in old equipment and now looks forward to the arrival of a new aerial truck funded by the Harrison Bruce Foundation. The Marion Fire Department will pay that donation forward, Barbwick said, by donating 2 trucks no longer needed to the Williamson County Fire Protection District and the Carterville Fire Department. And Doug Patton, the Finance Commissioner, who has served on the council for 7 years, pointed out that this administration's first budget was set by the previous administration. The city emerged from that first budget year with a remarkable $900,000 budget surplus.
Many financial factors, including fiscal responsibility, better than anticipated revenues, and some aggressive cost-saving initiatives allowed us to manage more than $900,000 surplus in our first budget. That is fantastic. Applying those same cost savings to our second budget, we anticipated a surplus of $76,000. Going into last fiscal year, which runs from May 1 to April 30th, our goal was to have the budget completed by the beginning of March 2020. So it consumed most of the first quarter of 2020. During that time, the threat of COVID was not really known, and its impact was unpredictable. Near the end of March, the global pandemic became a reality. We had no real metric to understand what impacts COVID would have on our budget. But we certainly understood that there would be impacts from the pandemic, but since there was no way to make solid predictions, we decided that we would proceed with our budget as usual. Through COVID, remarkably, for the most part, remained strong. What a testament to our strong business community. Our businesses endured so much during this time, and fortunately, most are doing well today. But I want to let you know that we are saving responsibly, and between our efforts and those efforts of our predecessors, I'm happy to report that our rainy day fund is currently over $5 million.
On our next report, we'll look at some of the current future projects that were detailed by Mayor Absher Monday. For the Marion Star Live, I'm Bill Swinford.